What's up, YouTubers? It's Wanderer here again, and I'm going to do a quick video tonight on another EDC item of mine. This is the Gerber Vise Mini Multi-Tool. Let's jump right into it. The tool itself, closed, is about 2 inches long. It's very small and it's very handy and easy to carry in your pocket. I carry this when I'm not carrying my Kershaw half-ton folder. You saw me do a video on that earlier. A lot of times I'll change up and decide, I want to have all the tools on here rather than just my knives. So on those days I usually swap out the folder for the Gerber here. So let's take a look at it, and the first thing we'll look at is the mini plier. It is spring-loaded pliers, as you can see there, needle nose tip. It's satin sandblast finish. Not real shiny, kind of that dull finish that we see. I guess they call that satin. There is a little mini wire cutter down there at the bottom, but I'm going to tell you guys, you're not going to cut any really thick gauge wire with that. I think the most you'd be able to cut is probably some 16 gauge wire, and as most of you know, that's not very thick. So I wouldn't count on this as a wire cutter, but in a pinch, you may be able to strip some wires, for a battery connection or something like that. But a good set of pliers on them for some fine work. They're not bad at all. They are spring-loaded, so they come right back. Alright, let's look at some of the tools on the outside of it. Folds up real nice and neat there. Not real difficult to get open. It's just a little stiff, but that makes it a little more solid in my opinion. Alright, let's go on to the tools on the outside. On one side, we've got two blades. We've got a straight, non-serrated edge on that one. And here we've got, I guess, what they call a sheep's foot blade. Now, the thing about these Gerber blades is they come very sharp out of the box. I've never been disappointed with the edge on a Gerber blade. And this is probably only about 1 inch long on the blade. It's not very big. It's not going to be for any heavy-duty cutting tasks. It's just, for everyday things. I use it to open mail, I use it to open boxes, I use it to, a lot of times cut the strip off of boxes that comes in and things like that. So I'm not a big fan of serrated blades. It's okay that it's on there since I've got the additional straight edge, but I don't ever buy a knife with an exclusively serrated blade on it, or even partially serrated. I just don't care for them very much. I find them hard to use, and I don't have that much use for them. I find that a straight edge will cut a piece of rope just as good as this, if not better. So those are the blades, and now we'll move over here to the other side. You've got a couple of items. It's just a little stiff, but I don't have very good fingernails either. So, alright, right here we've got our flathead screwdriver and another fine flathead screwdriver. On the opposite side is what they call a 2D Phillips head. Now, this is not a true Phillips head screwdriver, but in a pinch it'll work. It's just got a a Phillips head profile basically on a flat screwdriver, just a little raised edge where it might catch a little bit on a Phillips head. But in a pinch too, I've used a flat head to turn Phillips head screws, so I think it would work. There's also just a little, about a 1/2 inch mini file on there if you needed it. So over here is the flathead and the bottle opener. I guess on this other side it could pass as a can opener, but I wouldn't depend on it. I'd probably just go to my blade and use that. We've got a regular flathead here and bottle opener combined. Here you've got a fine flathead for I guess a jewelry type flathead screwdriver, and that could be good for some really fine screws, some really tiny small screws. Jewelry work, I think, is what that might be used a lot in, but if you're working on a very small piece of equipment or whatever the case is that has some fine screws in it, that could be really handy. And I think that's about it on there. It's got, we'll fold the blades up here, and it does have a little mini key ring on it, but again, nothing I'd want to depend on. The main use I have for it is the pliers and the blades and the main screwdrivers. So, but it's really solid, good metal construction, and I find a lot of uses for it during the week. Turn that around for you guys. You never know when you're going to need a screwdriver to have one handy, and back years ago that's what Swiss Army tools were for, but now they've started making them solid, and they're making them smaller and lighter and easier to carry, And if you want to carry a multi-tool but don't want to carry a heavy one, maybe you want to keep something with you when you're out in the woods or you're hunting, and you may have to do some fine work on your gun or your scope mounts or something like that. It's a great item to have. You're going to the shooting range or something like that, I'd absolutely keep one of these handy. It's not so much about what it won't do. There's a lot of things it will do for you. So give it a look. Gerber makes some good multi-tools. I'm not a fan of really big multi-tools. I like the lighter ones. So this fits right into my bag, and I can carry it in my pocket easy enough and barely know it's there. So if you need a multi-tool, try it out and let me know what you think. This is Wanderer, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.